What's up, guys? I don't have my recording device today on my mic. That's really frustrating. But today, what I'm wanting to talk about is Furiosa.
Remember me.
So in this movie, we are watching the origin story of Furiosa and how she got to be where she was when we were introduced to her in Fury Road. We watch her as a child and how she was kidnapped and how she kind of got mixed up with Immortan Joe. Also in this movie, we have a new villain played by Chris Hemsworth, who honestly, Anya Taylor-Joy, she plays Furiosa very well. Like, she doesn't really skip a beat and she does great. But Chris Hemsworth, he steals the show. He is just having so much fun in this movie. He's just so much fun to watch. It's fun to watch him kind of as a villain because he's not the stereotypical twirl in his mustache villain. He's kind of interesting. He's kind of funny. He's kind of weird. He's very unique. It makes him stand out as a villain, and I think he does a really good job. And I just think it's really funny that Hollywood just seems to keep trying to uglify Chris Hemsworth. When he was Thor, they made him fat. They're like, oh yeah, look, he's fat. And then in this movie, he has like a bigger nose. And it's like, I'm sorry. You guys can do whatever you want to him. He's still a god to me. All right, but this movie is actually bombing in theaters right now. It is doing terribly. But surprisingly, the movie is actually pretty great. It's probably the best action film I've seen in theaters for quite a while. And it does not deserve this much failure. Apparently Morbius did better than this movie, and that's just like a crime against film. This is a well done movie. Furiosa is a good character, and the action scenes of this movie, although not as good as Fury Road, still are really creative and really fun and thrilling. I also just love being immersed in this world again. I love this Mad Max world. So my question is just like, why? It's like, why is this movie doing so poorly? Why exactly is it failing so hard? And so I thought about it, and I think I have answers. All right, first off, this movie is coming out 9 years after Fury Road. That's a pretty big gap. And apparently George Miller was planning on filming this movie back-to-back with Fury Road, but because of some kind of salary dispute that he had with Warner Brothers at the time, this movie went into development hell for several years. So I think that has a big contributing factor to part of the reason why this movie is failing so bad right now. Because I think if this movie would have came out closer to Fury Road, like a year after, or even maybe like 2 years, I think this movie would be doing a lot better. All right, but I don't think that is the only reason for the failure of this movie. My other reason is the state of Hollywood right now. And let me explain. I really truly believe that the current state of Hollywood played a role in this movie's lackluster reception. Hollywood has been churning out uninspired remakes, prequels, and reimaginings, bombarding audiences with content lacking originality and depth. And while these types of films like reimaginings and prequels and stuff are not inherently necessarily bad, it has become really obvious that these films are prioritizing profit over meaningful storytelling. So when these movies are being made, when these reimaginings, prequels, remakes are being made, it's not due to Hollywood having a good story to tell or something interesting to add to an already existing movie. It's just a soulless cash grab. And as a result, I think that audiences are becoming more discerning when we see any type of remake or prequel or reimagining, and we write them off as cash grabs and we dismiss them. And I think that Furiosa was put into that category as just another prequel, just another insert to an already existing franchise that has absolutely no creativity or nuance behind it and is just being made to make a quick buck for Hollywood. But wait, that's not all. So I think that Hollywood has been kind of on this kick lately where it's trying to make up for the fact that it has been a hive of scum and villainy for the past few decades, or ever since its existence pretty much. And it has been doing this by virtue signaling as much as it possibly can to try to win over the hearts of the public. And one of the trends that they've been doing to try to virtue signal is to insert as many women possible into anything they possibly can. And although more well-written, well-rounded female characters isn't necessarily a bad thing, the problem really lies in the execution. Hollywood isn't writing characters when they write these women. They're writing stand-ins for whatever agenda the writer has, which results in poorly developed, unlikable characters that serve as mouthpieces for the writer's agendas. Yeah, there have been some exceptions, but for the most part, these female characters we're getting lately, poorly written, boring, unlikable girl bosses, who are very likely written purely with the goal of lecturing the audience on whatever it is the writer cares about that particular day. And it's everywhere. Yeah, like I said, there are some exceptions, but for the most part, it is everywhere. You can't watch a movie or a show without an obnoxious, strong female slapping you in the face with her big, undercooked, feminist salami. A lot of times in these movies where you see this, you see that there's going to be this strong female character. And believe me, you'll know they're a strong female character because when there is any kind of trailer or preview, or the director comes out and talks about the movie, or the actors come out and talk about the movie, what will be the main thing they keep talking about? They'll be talking about how this is a movie that's really showcasing how women can get it done, or women are strong, and women are this, and women are that. And it's like, well, what about the show? What about the movie? And the thing is, they don't care about that, because what do they have now? Now they have an excuse for if this movie sucks, which it probably will, because once again, it's being written by people that have the creativity of a moth. Now they're going to have an excuse. Now they have an excuse. All they have to say is you're a chauvinist, all the toxic male fans. And I'm not saying that there's not toxic people out there. There are toxic fans out there. Like when people attack the actor instead of the character. Like when people were attacking the girl that played Rose Tico. Or I know that the person that played Joffrey in Game of Thrones got like death threats. And it's like, those people are the dumbest humans on earth and they shouldn't be allowed to vote or to drive. Because if you do not understand that Joffrey is being played by an actor, then you're an idiot. It's not really Joffrey. You know that, right? He's just a normal person. So, yeah, I understand there's toxic people out there, but that's not why the movie failed or your show failed. I don't think that toxic group of people is enough to make a movie fail. I could be wrong, but I don't think it is. What was I even talking about now? But anyways, all I'm trying to say is that now this has led to a perception that any female-led show or movie is going to be of lower quality and is going to try to lecture you. Because a lot of times that's what these movies do. And they'll lecture you about the dumbest things too. It will just be like, hey, being a guy that assaults women, that's bad. And you're like,
there's a hot chick over there, I'm going to go talk to it.
Hey, being a racist is bad. And it's like, do you know that if there's somebody watching this and they are just a raging racist, you think they're going to watch this show or this movie and just change their mind? For one, they're probably not even going to be watching it, because why would they? So who's this for? Why are you lecturing us about the dumbest things? Yeah, we know. I can't stand it. It drives me absolutely batty. All right, but with that rant, what I'm trying to say is I think that Furiosa suffered for this, because lately we have been getting a ton of crap female-led movies. Especially there's the trend of having a female character come into a male-led franchise and taking over. So the female will come and kind of take over. That is a very unpopular trend that's been happening lately. And Furiosa, once again, I think suffered from this as well. So I think what happened was people saw Furiosa and they saw all the signs of crap. They saw that this was a prequel. They saw that this was a Mad Max movie that didn't even have Mad Max and was going to be led by a strong female character. Actually, she is a strong female character though, so I don't want to clump. I'll get into that in a second. And I think they just were like, oh, this is no different than all the other crap we've been getting lately, because it has all the signs of a crap movie. And I think that those factors are part of the reason why this movie has failed. And real fast, what's really unfortunate about this is that Hollywood, I know, is not going to take the right message away from this. They're going to take this as, oh, the public do not like female-led movies. They don't get that's not actually the case. We don't like poorly written characters. So that's why I kind of wish that this movie would have done well, because then people in Hollywood might be able to be like, hey, what's the difference between Furiosa and some of these other crap characters that nobody likes? But now they're just going to see it as just being like, oh, women are bad. So, I mean, like, slow clap for Hollywood and its attempt to atone for how it's treated women for ages. It has now conditioned the public to believe that women are film cancer. All right, so those are the reasons why I think that this movie failed, even though it's a really good movie. And I have seen a few people kind of clumping in Furiosa with some of those other poorly written, like, girl boss characters. And that infuriates me. It infurioses me. That makes me mad because Furiosa is a well-written character. And if you ever want to watch a movie that showcases, like, actual good female characters and, like, positive feminism, I guess, watch Fury Road. Furiosa is an amazing character, and so are the other female characters in that movie. So even though I really liked this movie, I think this was a good movie, I will admit that I don't really see the purpose of it. I don't really think it needs to exist necessarily. Like, two things can be true at once. This can be a good movie, and also I can believe that this movie is not necessary. And part of the reason I don't think it's necessary is because we really already got to know Furiosa's character in Fury Road. If anything, I think that Fury Road, this main story, is Furiosa's. Mad Max is kind of just there for the ride, you know? It's not really following him as much as it is Furiosa. And that's not a bad thing because she's a good character. But I feel like we kind of got to know her and we understood her backstory well enough. And I don't think we necessarily needed this. I mean, if it would have came out when it was supposed to, it would make a lot more sense and I could see its existence making more sense. I still think that this is a really good movie, and if you want to watch a good action movie, I definitely recommend it. If you liked Fury Road, you're gonna like this movie. It's really well done, the acting is great, the characters are great, and the action is great. Not as good as Fury Road, but it's still really fun. Alright, but that's it, you guys. That's all I really have. Let me know what you thought about this movie and what Mad Max movie is your favorite. Mine obviously is Fury Road. I love that movie. That movie's freaking awesome. That's testosterone done right, you know what I mean? Yeah. This is the Happy Critic. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to help support my channel. Just keep watching movies, guys, and keep being happy. And I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
The question is, do you have it in you to make it epic?